Welcome to this video where I'm going to be doing Epic Elite Reclaiming the Rift. I'm just inside the Demon Web and I've used the center entrance from the Evening Star Cavern. And I'm starting here because there's just a couple little tips that I want to show you. You may not be aware of a couple ways that you can move around the Demon Web. People hate this place because it is kind of confusing, and the connecting ramps from island to island can change from instance to instance. And so I just want to show you a couple little things here. If you are on a Druid, one of the things you may not have realized that you can do is when you first come down to this first island, you can snow slide to the next one. Pretty awesome. So you don't need that little ramp that's sometimes there. Okay, and the next thing is, the best way to navigate your way around the Demon Web is just, if you're trying to get to the quests, is just to fall off until you get to where you want to be. So this island here, and I don't have my map open, but this is like the wide island in the middle. Okay, and it's right here by missive number 36. And this is where you want to be if you go to the first two quests. You're just going to come immediately up here, kind of wind around. Ooh, there's a rare. I'm going to skip him. Come down. And you can see I already did the first two quests out here. So that one's just a straight line now, south pretty much. And then from there, you're just going to go over a few islands to the next one. But we're not doing either of those. So we're going to jump off, and the one we're doing, which is Reclaiming the Rift, is actually the easiest one to get to because you can just keep jumping off until you get to the island you want to be on. You can teleport right to the island that it's on. And there are about 4 different preset locations that you teleport to, and it can be frustrating because you could keep getting teleported to the same island over and over and over. But the island that this one's on is in the far east central portion of the map. It's not this. Just keep jumping off until you get it. You might have to do it a dozen times, but you will get there, and it's definitely easier than trying to run out there. And this is the island you want to be on. So you can see I'm in the far east of the map. And here's the quest. If you need a shrine, there's one right above this. You just go up the ramp the other way. So I am level 26. This is a level 25 quest on Epic Elite, so you could do it as high as level 27 and still get full bravery bonus. Let's look at the gear. Not so much has changed. I do have a new belt. This one doesn't have the large slot on it anymore, so there's nothing for me to forget to slot up. Constitution 8 and 45 hit points. That's about the best Constitution hit point item you can have for this level, both on one. I guess if it was Masterwork Craftsmanship or Wondrous Craftsmanship, you'd get a little better. But anyway, it's close. I also realized, I think that last video I was missing a false life item. Oops. So I'm doing some things a little bit different than I had traditionally done for epic leveling, and that made me overlook that. So I just want to point that out. That was not intentional. Everything else is the same as the last video. We've got the Epic Elite Intricate Field Optics with Wisdom 8 and some other goodies on there. Still using the Flawless Blue. This will be what I wear until endgame. And got the Conch Op bracers going on. Epic Elite Ring of Shadows. Lots of yummy miss chances there. The Halcyon Boots. I mentioned that I'd really like to lose these. I'd like to, but what makes me want to keep these, and this is an endgame item for me, is the Potency 80. Really wish they'd come out with a Potency Augment. That could be life-changing for me. But there's really nothing else on here that just must have. But there's no other place for me to slot Potency. At endgame, if I don't have Potency, then I'm lacking spell power for I think Acid and like my alignment spells and my light spells. So definitely want to have that. And Gauntlets of Immortality, this will also stay on. This is an end game piece of gear for me, but this is also something that you know, in the future, this is going to be one of the first ones to come off, because by endgame I won't need the healing lore, because I'll have 17% universal lore, and the devotion 120, well, I'll have, you know, potency 80 from the boots, and you know, it's possible that I could slot devotion. So there's some different things in the slots. I have so many slots by endgame because of the new Epic Necro 4 loot, or not the Epic Necro 4, excuse me, the Mark of Death loot. Still got the Guardian's Ring slotted with Strength 6. Already went over the belt. Cloak of Flames is exactly the same. I don't change these slots. I actually have a separate Cloak of Flames just for endgame, so I don't have to sit there and swap out the slots. So I use this one from levels 20 to 27, and then I have another one, which I think may be exactly the same, except it has Charisma 8 on it. The blue slot might be different too, I'm not sure. Still got the Planar Focus of Prowess set bonus. Epic Torque of Prince Rayum Day 2, slotted with Wisdom, Insightful Wisdom 2, and the Green Steel plus 45 hit point Mineral 2 helmet. Agony Knife in the Dark completes that Web Planar Conflux set bonus. Lots of goodies on that weapon, slotted with Glaciation 114. Now, yeah, that's the highest I could slot right now. And the Madstone Shield slotted with Natural Armor 7. I did pick up Mirrors of Glamoring are on sale right now, so I picked up a Royal Scimitar and made a cosmetic out of that. And that's just because I don't really like how the Shadow Thunder Forged weapons look. I don't really like that aura, so I wanted to get something to subdue that. So I chose this quest because the end fight can be pretty intense and can be challenging to solo if you're newer to it. So you should try to run as conservatively as possible until the end fight, because you only get the one shrine in here. So do what you gotta do, but don't go crazy. There are a lot of waves of mobs to deal with in that end fight. So here is a really annoying part, because you know these mobs want to just stay up there and not want to come down. So you have to range them down or put spells up there. Sometimes they come down, but more often than not they won't. You can actually get up there with wolf form, but you have to fall off the platform, go back to the start, because there's no way to get back up there. We've already fallen off the previous clip. And if you get that, you know, if you do it just right, if you aim your snow slide just at the right spot, you can get up there. I always forget to do that when I'm doing this. I'm usually too lazy to go back. And then when I do it, I often will miss because I forget the exact spot. But if you're interested in experimenting with that, you can do it on your own. Sometimes this stuff will just hang out in the back and you can't even hit it, and it's a real pain. Don't throw like sunburst. You don't want to blind them, because if you blind them, they may just wander off in the back, becoming extremely difficult to target. Oh, he finally came down. And you'll know you got them all when the way it opens up. There's a spider web in front of this opening, or a barrier, before you kill them all. So he made his first save, the other guy did too, and then he fell after that for the earthquake. Earthquake DC right now I think is 49. Yep. So I'm going to pull out the wolf, and I'm going to use the wolf to get the barrier. You can also use a hireling or, you know, your panther or something. Owl bear. When you click the barrier between the waves to advance to the next one, it drains some of your con, so it's not a really good idea for you to do it. Come on, stay over here. But if you keep the wolf out of the fight and just park him back there. Oh, God. Seriously, wolf? And here he is again. Stay there, please. And it doesn't matter where you're at, you could be really far away, just target the barrier, tell your wolf to use it. Boom. You don't lose any hit points. Now when I do this, I like to just stay central, but keeping the crowd control up here. I'm not trying to fight this on multiple fronts. Like if I were to go out there and, you know, fight them as they're coming in over there and fight them on the right as well. No, thank you. Just let them all come to us. Don't forget to hit the barrier. If you forget to hit the barrier, then you're just going to have to fight whatever wave you were on again. Now sometimes if you got mobs that are wanting to range you, you know, if they see you, they're going to start ranging you from where they're at and stay still, so you can hide behind a rock or something and make them come to you. The problem is, don't hide too much, because if they don't see you but they see your wolf, then they're going to want to go attack him. Take a look at what some of the other numbers are at, like for this level. 166 armor class, 199 PRR, 84 MRR. The armor class, remember, has 36 extra from epic past lives right now. So even have all those martial epic pass lives, you have none of them, that'd be down to 130. And let's look at where the spell power is. Cold right now is at 281. So everything hanging around, you know, high 200s-ish. Unfortunately, you can get web blind tripped even though you're in stand against the tide stance. It's, I'm guessing not working as intended, but don't expect a fix to come anytime soon. Another big problem that I've seen is the tactical detonation in like Epic Necro 4 and some of the artificers. I can't think of which quest, but when they do the tactical detonation, that will not only knock you down, but the knockdown lasts so long. I'm not really good with making those saves. I was doing Epic Elite Fleshmakers yesterday, and that was a big problem for me. So during this fight is a good time to use the one shrine in the quest, which is right back there. And if you die here, no problem, because you got the red shrine there too by your wolf. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take him down to about 5% and then use the shrine. If you take him to the far end of this particular platform or this area, you can quickly come back here and use the shrine before he can make it back to you. I finally found a way to slot a few spells that I keep, or to hotkey a few spells that I like to keep on hand but don't use very often, which is Firestorm and Fire Seeds and the regular version of Word of Balance. I use the SLA version all the time, but the regular version not so much unless I'm in a situation where either I'm spamming or I'm fighting a sort of an unusual mob that doesn't want to take much damage from my other spells. So I've got those hotkeys now, which is nice for spamming and those other situations. I was just really running out of hotkeys, but had a little realization that I was basically, I used my arrow keys for those. I already have my arrow keys used to move the camera around, but I've doubled up all my hotkeys by using a control button as a secondary version of the same key. So like right now, all of my spells are all the number pad, and then each number on the number pad, each key on the number pad has two purposes. So like 6 is Call Lightning, that's the SLA version, but Control 6 is the regular version, just for example. Seven is the regular version of Produce Flame, Control 7 is the SLA. back. Break line of sight so he doesn't sit there and just range you. Make him come back to you. Oh! I backed right off. That's priceless. That was not intended. I thought that was going to send me to the start. Snow slide really quick. Get behind it, put that between you and him. So that hopefully if he's ranging you, he hits the shrine instead of you. You see it's really close, there he's coming, but we're just gonna get the rest in time. Alright. Don't forget to buff. And it tells you how many of the waves you have left, 3 left. One of the things that I should have that I don't have are the plus 25 spell power potions from House P. You can get those from the House of Wizardry. Hopefully I'll remember to get those for the next video. And that's it for the number of times we got to get the barrier so the wolf can go away, just so we don't have any accidents. So this boss is a pretty hard-hitting boss, so let's come over here and let's just see, with doing absolutely nothing, what kind of damage he's doing to us. Looks like I'm in a quirky spot where maybe he's not hitting me. There we go, so hit me for 100 there, 90. Even with the triple attack, I mean, you're looking at a total of about 300 there, so... And for builds that don't have higher PRR, I mean, when he does that triple attack, I mean, he can strike people down right there. I mean, if you've done this quest before and you've pugged it, you've probably seen that happen quite a few times. Now, you could have had, you know, your wolf here attacking him from behind, but I just, you know, if the wolf gets in the way for whatever reason and gets struck down by that triple hit, then, you know, you lose all those spell points, and that's just too much of a hassle. There's a new build on the Druid forum by Michelle. Now, she used to have her evoker up there for a long time, and that was like I think it had a couple levels of rogue and could do traps, and it was, you know, an evasion caster. But she's got this new build called the Death Titan Ice Druid, and it looks pretty cool. And so it's a tough build. You know, it's a heavy armor wearing higher PRR, higher MRR, but it's not built to be extra tanky like this one, so it's more focused on the caster side of things. She's getting some really good cold spell power going, and even a build like that is still going to be really, really durable. You know, so if you're not looking to tank raid bosses, then you might want to check that build out. It looks pretty interesting. It is a pure Druid build. And it's just, you know, it's kind of like a next generation Druid caster build, because, you know, with these armor up changes, that really changes things for Druid a lot. And, you know, like I'm saying in my build post, and I commented earlier in the series, that I think that any kind of caster Druid should pick up heavy armor proficiency. All the extra bonuses you get from that are well worth a single feat. Well, that is Epic Elite Reclaiming the Rift. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about my videos, you can respond on YouTube. If you have any questions about my build, you can respond on the DDO forums. And if you happen to be on Sarlona, you're welcome to send me a tell.